Some middle-aged folks with nothing better to do than spend all their free time making silly stuff with you. With only a tiny dungeon set and a green screen on the wall, finding it hard to write good stories. This basement's too damn small. Another fresh out of ideas. So what's next, you probably ask? Let's roll some dice, find out in this next BardsCAST.
What is BardsCAST?
It's basically a podcast to drive the story. Well, this is the third time. So what happened the
Then
first time?
there was the second time. Then you lost the footage.
Yeah, okay.
My name's Billy. I sometimes play the character of Virgil B. Hex. And I'm joined today by...
Ryan. And I only play Tanlin for now.
I see a beautiful princess character in the future. Maybe a love interest for Hex.
Recently, I was the sugar plum fairy. Yes.
Right. And we already have the dungeon with the chains and everything. So we're halfway there. So it's not that kind of dungeon, not yet anyway. Where we ended last time was our heroes and villains were left in the dungeon facing the door.
And unfortunately, the moment we opened the door, explosion. What happened?
We need to work that out, and we'll work it out together on camera with you.
Yeah, so we haven't been working on this in a while. That last episode took the longest of all of our episodes so far, but I think it shows. It was really good. Check out the gem of molten crystal. I think the big thing we learned was maybe we're putting more effort in the wrong places. So we're going to try to refocus those efforts.
We hope to expand a little bit with the way that we're bringing content to you, maybe not just the regular Bards Camp videos, but maybe some little side projects as well, some things that are going on. You know, we have the character of the Pillar, and we've had some really funny ideas about what he gets up to when he's not tormenting the
I
Bards.
can't wait to see you break your sword while you're prying at my friends.
And also maybe something for Hex to do as well in his off time.
Yeah, so during the break, if you look back at episode 5 from the first season, we did a cover of Them Bones from Alice in Chains. And I think, how did that come about? How did the whole Alice in Chains?
You guys made a broken arm prop. You made the sound effect for your arm breaking. You went, ah! The whole song came about from that sound.
That's right. Yeah. So this whole thing started at just being kind of a music project. We needed a reason to make some music. We got a bunch of musicians friends, and once we got into it, we realized kind of the other stuff kind of pulled us away from some of that, and it just kind of came up. I think it was literally on the Friday that we were like trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Right.
And it was like, all right, I guess we're doing Alice in Chains, Them Bones tonight. Yeah, we made a cool little prop of Tanlin's arm that was gonna break, and that apparently Magnus kind of goes into a trance that he loves the sound so much because he's a percussionist. You find out he plays a mouth harp and he beatboxes and stuff. And that ends up being the draw of the whole thing. The whole thing you just very emphasize on crack.
True to real life, Caleb is infatuated with crack.
Yeah,
and smokes it.
so
I'm sorry, Caleb. You're not here to defend yourself, so I'm just
He's
gonna.
not. The main thing we were doing throughout every single episode is we always did an outro. You know, basically summarizing the episode.
A purse was pulled from bardic breast, had bandage for the Magnus mess.
And it was going to be really heartbreaking for me if that's all that those ever were, was just the end of those episodes. And we kind of put them together. And so that's not quite done yet. It turns out, any of this stuff it's just a lot more work than you think it's going to be. But eventually it will get done, and we've made some pretty good progress there. So expect to see that eventually. We kind of got things ready to start preparing for the next season. I set up a project in the cloud to kind of collect our ideas. With that, kind of started to build some ideas for other segments. And one of the segments that came out of that was this. Rather than just kill ourselves writing scripts every week and a half, let's have fun with it. Let's roll some dice, and let's see what happens to these guys within the very small world that they're in. So I think that's where we came out with BardsCAST. There's 4 of us primarily. We've got a few other folks that are involved too that aren't here every Friday.
Quiet, Bard. The only thing worse than your lute playing is the perfidious Albion resonating from your vocal cords.
There's just not enough room to get 4 on camera. So we said, okay, we're going to get 3 on camera, and we're going to take 1 and make them a tech.
So where are we now?
Tantalin and Magnus were in the dungeon with Hex. He summoned the dead mage. He came in, rocked some metal guitar.
A drum. You become.
Played this amazing song, and then Hex summons this door, and then Magnus opens it, and then what's on the other side? This green wizard
Where's this subdued excitement coming from?
that we're calling Frodrick blasts us.
Take care of all of you.
He just sees a bunch. To him, he just sees a bunch of vermin. He's just the guy cleaning out the labyrinth, making sure that it's just taking out the trash. Right? That may or may not be Frodrick himself, and that's it. And that's, you don't know what happens. To be continued. Before we continue, there's some like re-establishing state. And the state is that Hex was like, I know that that's the gem of molten crystal, dodges the blast, does some crazy parkour stuff, and he grabs the chest, disappears with the chest, with the door, all his magic gone, and the room is left with just Magnus, Tantalin, and Frodrick. Hex is gone. He's got his chest of molten crystal, and he's out, and he's done. Like he got what he wanted. He's out, and he's just leaving them out to dry. Right?
Sort of hit it and quit it, so to speak.
So then, yeah, where from here?
So we were thinking of starting an OnlyFans with the Bards. That might be a good idea. So subscribe right away. All the information
Tantalin is a NeverNude
under the video, and
yeah, we have the good shot of Tantalin with his Daisy Dukes that we're going to use as a promo for that.
Mhm.
Stay tuned.
and that's
No,
real,
stay hexed.
right. Yeah, that's another project that we're thinking about where maybe Hex and another character hang out and watch funny things on the magic mirror.
Another hard day's evil, finished all dirty. What's next up on the mirror? Hex and Belfry will see.
What kind of funny things?
So maybe parodies of things involving the Bards, like maybe like a Sweating to the Oldies, and you got the Bards doing like aerobics in the dungeon, or maybe like an infomercial where the Bards are playing like Billy Maid's characters or something like that, you know, and he's trying to sell you his loot. And this, you know, it's the super loot. You can't get these in stores, folks. You can only get them here. And then occasionally mixing in other clips.
Well, yeah,
from
because
the
Hex
real
has a
world.
lens to like the whole world.
Right. Viral videos, cat videos, whatever.
Your
you know.
videos.
Right.
If you have
Stuff
some,
you
let
send
us
in,
know.
whatever. But, you know, maybe Charlie bit my finger, you know, that type of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So there you go.
What's in the chest?
Did we decide that the bat's going to be in the chest?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then that's where that character comes from. Then Belfry the bat. How did he get in the chest?
I caught him.
So yeah, because he's a
Vermin,
vermin.
sorry,
He's been
vermin.
collecting vermin in the
So-
labyrinth.
That was a rare specimen, it was.
I needed an assistant. I needed a minion.
Well, no, you didn't. You didn't know you
No,
needed
yeah.
it. You didn't know you needed
Well, that's
it.
why I kept him. That's why I didn't eat him. That's why I don't have a new bat skin wallet.
Outside of Hex, we have some other ideas. So what we have here,
BardsCHart.
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 That's a throwback, but you
But
didn't know
it's-
it because you haven't seen those.
Right. Not to be confused with,
BardScharts.
which is
That's something totally different.
something totally different.
The first thing we want to do here is find out how many characters will be in the episode. We're going to roll a D4. That's nice. That's a triangle. I've ever seen one. 2. Until this point, all the other BardsCAST episodes that will never see the light of day had 3. Now there's only 2. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find the target character we're going to determine. Let's roll that D4 one more time. Boom.
1.
So Tantalin is number 1. You can see that up here. Tantalin. See that? Maybe.
Mhm.
Hopefully. And then we're going to determine if we're going to select them by flipping the coin. Gosh darn it.
This is not hard, folks, but we're going to make it look
Yeah,
hard.
we're going to make it look really hard. God, that was...
Jeez.
Tantalin is not a professional coin flipper. That is certainly the case. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. So is Tantalin going to be in?
That's great.
No, he's not. All right. We're going to call that one the 1. So now that's it. So we're moving on. We're going to roll the D4 again. 1 is Tantalin. 2 is Magnus. 3 is Mudbottom. 4 is Frodrick. 2. It is Magnus. So we're going to run the test on Magnus.
Too bad.
That is correct. It is not. So I will roll this and you will flip now.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. We're going to roll again. D4. It is a 1. So you flip. He is. There it is. We're going to call that good. Because he's gotten in there twice now. So, and then it's going to be Tantalin is one of the heroes. Yeah. Let's roll another D4. See who else. Number 2. So Magnus. We're going to check if Magnus is in this episode. There it is. What do you know? Tantalin and Magnus. We're probably going to have a little bit different state here. So we're going to do a base state roll. And our base state roll, we've got a D20 we're going to roll here. So the big guy.
Oh, wow. We rolled a 4 again? Deja vu.
4. So we'll be writing a letter for the 3rd time.
Dear diary, today I was stuck again in a dungeon with my friend Magnus. He snored so badly.
It makes sense. I'm sure when I showed this to you before, it didn't have this in the corner, but it's that far, I guess, left D6 for you. After the base state, which someone's writing a letter, what's going to happen to him? Let's go ahead and roll that D6. There's a new threat. So, yeah, we'll go from there. See if we can't make this make sense for you. So, thanks for watching the first episodes of BardCAST.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.